The Chief AI Officer. The title alone sounds inevitable. If you have data, you need a Chief Data Officer. If you have technology, a CTO. So if you have AI, the technology that's supposed to transform everything, surely you need a CAIO, right? Well, here's the truth. New titles are easy. New roles that actually work are not. This isn't a how-to guide. It's a set of questions, 5 questions, that any CEO needs to answer before signing a $2 million check for a new C-suite seat. Because in reality, the cost isn't just the salary. It's the organizational earthquake that follows. Question 1. What business actually needs a CAIO? The intuitive answer is companies offering AI-based solutions. Your OpenAIs, your mid-market AI startups. Their product is AI. Their revenue depends on AI. A CAIO there makes sense. It's like a pharmaceutical company having a chief science officer. But what about a 150-year-old insurance company using AI to speed up claims processing? Or a retailer using AI for inventory? Their business is insurance and retail, not AI. The argument for a CAIO here is weaker. Unless AI is supposed to transform the business, not just improve it. Here's the math that keeps CFOs awake. A CAIO isn't one hire, it's a team. Depending on the scale of business, it can range from 2 to 5 or even more people. Salary, benefits, equity, call it $1.5 to $2 million a year. For what? If the business model doesn't generate incremental revenue directly attributable to AI, this is just an overhead increase disguised as innovation. So the real question isn't, do we use AI? It's, can we trace a line from this role to new revenue streams that wouldn't exist otherwise? If the answer is no, your CIO can handle AI as a productivity tool. If yes, if you're betting the company on AI, you might need a CAIO. Question 2. Why can't the Chief Information Officer or Chief Digital Officer absorb this? Let's be honest, the CIO already runs data, infrastructure, and cybersecurity. The CDO owns digital transformation. Adding AI to their plate seems logical. It's just another technology, right? But here's the truth in corporate reality. You don't create a new C-suite role because the work is new. You create it because the perspective required is incompatible with the existing mandate. A CIO's DNA is operational excellence, uptime, cost control, risk mitigation. Their job is to run a tight ship. A CAIO's DNA, as it's being theorized, is business model innovation, experimentation, and, frankly, tolerating ambiguity that would give a CIO hives. If your AI initiative is about running the existing business better, the CIO should own it. But if it's about building a business you couldn't have built before, say, an AI-driven predictive maintenance service that changes how you sell industrial equipment, that's not a CIO's brief. That's a transformation play. And transformation needs a different kind of champion. The test. Ask your CIO, would you bet your annual bonus on an AI product that might cannibalize our core revenue? If they hesitate, you have your answer. Question 3. If you do hire a CAIO, where do they sit? And who owns the resources? This is where the lovely theory meets the blood sport of org design. Let me give you 3 scenarios I've seen play out. Scenario 1. CAIO reports to the CIO. On paper, this makes sense. The CIO controls the data and infrastructure AI needs. But here's the trap. The CIO's incentive is to minimize change. Their team will say, we need 6 months to integrate that AI tool with our legacy systems. The CAIO wants to move fast. The CIO calmly suffocates the CAIO's agenda with process. The CAIO becomes a figurehead. Scenario 2. CAIO reports to the CTO. The CTO is often the head of product engineering. They want to build AI, not govern it. In this structure, the CAIO becomes a very senior AI engineer. Great for technical depth, terrible for cross-functional ethics. They'll optimize models while ignoring the HR or legal implications. The CAIO becomes a lab scientist with a fancy title. Scenario 3. CAIO reports directly to the CEO, alongside CIO and CTO. This is the only structure where the CAIO can arbitrage between competing interests. But now you have 3 executives fighting over the same resources: data scientists, cloud budget, and the ear of the CEO. The ownership question is brutal. The CAIO says, "I need access to customer data." The CDO says, "That's my data, my governance rules." The CAIO says, "I need to hire AI engineers." The CTO says, "Those should sit in my org, where the technical standards are maintained." There is no right answer in a handbook, because the answer depends on your CEO's willingness to referee 3-way cage matches. If your CEO avoids conflict, this structure will paralyze the company. If your CEO thrives on healthy tension, it can work. Question 4. What kind of human do you actually hire? Let's start with the obvious. Yes, they need to understand AI. Not necessarily code it, but know what a transformer model is, what data drift means, why an LLM hallucinates. If they can't have a technical debate with your CTO, they're useless. But here's what the job posts won't tell you. The technical skills are the easy part. You can test for those. What you can't test for is what happens at 2 a.m. when their team wants to ship a model that fails your bias audit. This is where the character comes in. Character is arguably the ultimate edge in the age of AI. The CAIO is the living proof. Consider the algorithmic bias risk. Your CAIO's team builds a hiring tool. The bias audit shows it downgrades non-traditional career paths, exactly the kind of diverse talent you want. The engineers say, "But the model accuracy is 94%. The CAIO has 3 choices. 1. Delay the launch. Career risk. CEO wanted it yesterday. 2. Ship and hope. Moral failure. You're baking discrimination into your company. 3. Redesign the objective function. Months of extra work, political cost. What do you hire for? The courage to choose option 3. This isn't generic leadership virtue. This is bearing moral weight for decisions you don't fully understand, because no human fully understands what these models are doing. The CFO doesn't face this. The COO doesn't. The CAIO does. So your interview question isn't, "Tell me about your experience with transformer architectures." It's, "Tell me about a time you killed a project your team was proud of because the risk was unknowable." If they look confused, you have your answer. They think this is a technical job. It's not. It's a moral governance job that happens to involve technology. Question 5. How do you measure a CAIO's performance? This is where things get really uncomfortable. Salesforce metrics? Revenue from AI-enabled products? That's seductive, but it's also dangerous. If you bonus your CAIO on revenue, what do you think they'll do? Ship faster, test less, downplay risks. What about cost savings from AI-driven efficiency? Also dangerous. You'll incentivize replacing humans with algorithms as quickly as possible, regardless of the cultural fallout. Or do you measure risk avoided? Bias audits passed. That's better, but now you're paying a C-suite executive to be a glorified compliance officer. Here's the paradox. The CAIO's greatest success might be stopping an AI initiative that would have destroyed value. How do you measure a disaster that didn't happen? How about these other lagging indicators? 12-month retention rate of AI team. Are they proud of their work or burning out from ethical compromises? Cross-functional adoption. Are business units voluntarily using AI tools or avoiding them? Brand trust score in AI-exposed markets. But these are soft. CEOs hate soft metrics. The uncomfortable truth: we may not know how to measure a CAIO for another 5 years. In the meantime, you're investing $2 million a year on character and judgment you mostly have to take on faith. Which is why question 1, the business case, is so critical. If you can't trace this role to revenue, you better be damn sure you can afford a $2 million bet on faith.
So where do we find answers? Top business schools, Chicago Booth, LSE, Wharton, are launching AI leadership programs. They're teaching CAIOs how to navigate this. However, the case studies may be more theoretical than practical because the role is too new. The real answers will come from the CEOs and boards making these bets now, in real time. From the CAIOs, who last 18 months and either change the company or get eaten alive by organizational antibodies. And frankly, the answer will be different for every company, because the interplay of business model, technical architecture, and risk profile is unique. The conclusion here isn't a conclusion at all. It's a recommendation. Before you hire a CAIO, spend 3 months running a shadow CAIO function, an internal working group that acts as if the role exists. See where the friction points are. See if the business can actually support it. See if your CEO has the stomach for the referee job. Because the worst thing you can do is hire a CAIO into a structure that makes them fail, then declare AI governance doesn't work. It works fine. Organizational design is what's failing. If you're navigating this, I'd love to hear your experience. And if you want to go deeper on the character questions, the moral weight of AI leadership, my books are linked below. This isn't about having all the answers. It's about asking better questions before we bet millions on a title. Because in the age of AI, the most expensive mistakes won't be technical. They'll be organizational.
Thank you, and congratulations if you've gone this far. Please like, subscribe to the Awakening channel, and hit the bell button to stay abreast of new AI insights.